I exposed my husband's betrayal at our anniversary dinner. Then came the surprise. Hashtag AITA, hashtag infidelity, hashtag divorce drama, hashtag twist ending, hashtag Reddit stories. Throwaway account because my real one has too many connections. Buckle up. This is a long one. Let me preface this by saying I've been quiet for far too long. I've smiled through humiliation, cooked dinners after discovering lipstick stains on shirts, and nodded politely while my husband, Mark, bragged about his empire I helped build. But our 10th anniversary was the last night I pretended. That was the night I took back my power and handed him the check for every betrayal. Wineglass 1. The toast that made my blood run cold. The night started off glitzy. We were at this ridiculously expensive restaurant overlooking the skyline, a private room filled with our closest family and friends. Mark had insisted on something grand for our 10th anniversary. I should have known it wasn't to celebrate our love. After appetizers and wine, he stood to make a toast. I was prepared to smile graciously as always. But then he said this verbatim. To my wife, who managed to turn a 2-bedroom apartment into a luxury prison. To 10 years of surviving her mood swings, passive-aggressive comments, and cold feet in bed. Honestly, I sometimes feel like I married a roommate who wants half my company. Laughter. A few chuckles. Some gasps. My mother looked mortified. His buddies? Oh, they loved it. I sat there, calmly sipping my wine. Then I stood up, clinked my glass, and said, "Thank you, Mark." That was revealing. Now, if everyone would indulge me, I have a little something to share too. Receipt 2. The fake prenup that shook the table. I pulled out a manila envelope from my clutch and opened it with an exaggerated smile. "Mark," I said sweetly, "I found our old prenup in the safe, but there was something odd about it. So I had my attorney draft a revised version." I handed copies to him, his parents, and mine. As per this updated prenup in the case of divorce, which seems rather likely, wouldn't you say? You walk away with absolutely nothing. No house, no business stake, not even your precious Tesla. It's all in my name now. His mother gasped. His best friend choked on his wine. Mark turned beet red and said through gritted teeth, "This isn't real." "Oh, it's not binding," I shrugged, "but it gave me immense pleasure to see your face when you thought it was." 3. The sister's best friend bombshell. He sneered. "You finally lost it." "Oh, have I?" I asked, pulling out my phone and connecting it to the projector we were using earlier to show our wedding photos. Click. On the screen appeared screenshots, dozens of them. Text messages between him and Carla, my sister's best friend. "You still smell like her shampoo. It's so hot sneaking around. She has no idea. Let's meet again before the big night." Gasps. His father stood up and barked. "What the hell is this, Mark?" I turned to the room, my voice calm but clear. "Carla and Mark have been seeing each other for over 8 months. I found out 5 months ago. I made sure to collect evidence. These screenshots? They've already been sent to everyone in this room. You all have them now. Enjoy the read." My sister looked like she was going to throw up. Carla's father, also present, got up and slapped Mark across the face. 4. The lawyers walk in before dessert. I sat back down and took another sip of my wine, waiting for the cherry on top. Cue. 2 sharply dressed individuals entering the room. Mark blinked. "What the?" I stood up and said, "Ah, I forgot to mention. These are my attorneys." They walked over and placed divorce papers in front of him. "You'll find everything is in order. We've already frozen joint accounts. I've moved my personal assets. This dinner is being charged to the business card you used for your little affair, and flagged as a personal expense. Enjoy explaining that." He started spluttering. "You can't." "Oh, but I did." He turned to his lawyer cousin, who was pale and shaking his head. "Don't look at me," his cousin said. She came prepared. 5. The final trap, business crimes and hidden recordings. The room had mostly gone silent, aside from whispers and shifting chairs. Mark started yelling. "You vindictive. You think you're smart? I built this. You're nothing without me." I smiled, stood up again, and walked slowly to his chair. "Actually, remember that night when you got drunk and started talking about how you were reclassifying business dinners as charitable write-offs? Or that time you told your buddy you were claiming your mistress's rent under employee housing? He blinked. That's not recorded, I said. All of it. I used a voice-activated recorder. You were sloppy. My lawyers have already filed a report with the IRS. I just wanted to see your face when you realized what's coming. He slumped back in his chair, hands trembling. His mother started crying. His father shook his head and walked out. Carla had already fled. I walked out just after that, heels clicking on the marble floor like a gavel. It's been 3 weeks. His accounts are frozen. His reputation is in ruins. The IRS is very interested in the file my attorney submitted. And me, I'm sleeping better than I have in years. Edit, wow. I didn't expect this to blow up. Thank you for the kind messages and DMs. And for those asking, yes, I did buy myself flowers. And a vacation. To Greece. Solo. Would love to hear what y'all think. Too savage? Or long overdue? Let me know. I'll be replying in the comments. Update. I exposed my husband's betrayal at our anniversary dinner, then came the surprise. Hi again, Reddit. I never thought I'd be writing an update, let alone one this wild. But since my inbox is overflowing and this post exploded way beyond my expectations, I figured you all deserve a follow-up. Especially those of you who sent support, or even the ones who came at me like I was Cersei Lannister incarnate. Grab tea or wine. This one's a ride. Open mailbox with raised flag, the comments, the DM storm, and the judgment parade. Let's start with the aftermath of the post blowing up. Thousands of comments. Hundreds of DMs. Some of y'all? Hilarious. The support was overwhelming. I cried reading stories from people, men and women, who had been betrayed, gaslit, and made to feel invisible in their own marriages. There were women saying, "You gave me the courage to file." Others said, "I wish I had your strength. I stayed and now I'm lost." There were some not-so-kind souls, too. People accusing me of being vindictive, manipulative, cold-hearted, or a woman scorned out for revenge. To those folks, you weren't in my shoes. You didn't see the years I poured into that marriage, the quiet sacrifices, the times I covered for his lies. You saw the explosion, but not the years of slowly burning fuse. Woman standing, what happened after the dinner? After I walked out, I went home, took off my heels, and let out the longest, slowest exhale of my life. Meanwhile, according to my cousin, bless her for the recon, here's what went down back at the restaurant. Mark had a full meltdown. Like, table flipping, chair kicking, yelling at the waitstaff meltdown. His mother fainted. EMTs were called. Carla never came back to the table. She bolted straight to her parents' car, and rumor has it, her family packed her up and sent her to stay with her aunt in Texas. My sister, the one whose best friend was screwing my husband, slapped Carla at her parents' house the next day. I didn't condone it, but karma doesn't always wear gloves. Necktie the legal fallout. You wanted war. Well, here it is. Mark's lawyer contacted mine within 48 hours. He was shaking, figuratively and possibly literally. They wanted to settle quietly. They offered me 30% of the assets if I'd sign a non-disclosure. I laughed. Mark can keep the silence, I said. I'll keep the house, the stocks, the art, and the dogs. Mark had no idea that I'd been moving chess pieces for months, transferring everything I legally could to my name, filing copyright claims for designs I created for his business, quietly preparing a full portfolio of evidence for the IRS, talking to women he had messaged on Instagram. Yes, there were others, some underage, by the way, which his lawyer has begged us not to pursue criminally. Yeah, his defense team crumbled faster than a stale croissant. Firecracker, the email that changed everything. Here's where things get twisted. A week after the dinner, I got an anonymous email. No name, no pleasantries. Just, I was his other wife. My stomach dropped. Turns out Mark had a secret second marriage. Yeah, to a woman overseas. A marriage he never legally dissolved. She had no idea he was married to me. She found out when she saw the viral Reddit post because her cousin had sent it to her saying, "Doesn't this sound like your Mark?" I kid you not. She and I got on a call. We compared timelines. It overlapped. She got the loving, devoted Mark who sends flowers and flies to visit every month. I got the condescending business mogul who faked business trips to cheat with Carla and God knows who else. Now, she's joining the legal storm. Because now it's a case of bigamy. And Mark? He's absolutely freaking out. Microphone stories from the comment section that stuck with me. You beautiful souls who shared your own tales. Here are a few that gutted me or made me cheer. A woman who left her husband after finding out he faked fertility issues to avoid having kids, all while having a secret family across town. A man who exposed his cheating wife during her birthday party, down to the PowerPoint presentation and receipts. A girl who said my story gave her courage to leave her narcissistic fiancé, who told her she was lucky he proposed. You all lit a fire under me. I'm so glad we're building a community that refuses to swallow betrayal and smile through abuse. Performing arts closure? Kind of. I'm not sure I'll ever get full closure. What do you call it when someone rips out the trust you built over a decade? But here's what I've got. A new apartment by the water, decorated to my taste. No weird man cave, trophies, or sterile cold minimalism. Therapy. Weekly. Sometimes messy, but healing. A dog named Revenge. Not kidding. Okay, his vet papers say Reggie, but we all know the truth. A job offer from one of Mark's former investors. Turns out they read my post, loved my strategic brilliance, and said, we could use someone like you. Door final words to Mark. Mark, if you're reading this, and I know you are, you tried to humiliate me in front of everyone. You mocked me, lied to me, cheated on me. You underestimated the quiet girl who supported you. But the thing about quiet girls, we take notes, we observe, and when we strike, it's with precision. You taught me what betrayal feels like. Now I hope you learn what consequences feel like. I'll keep you guys posted if anything else unravels, and with Mark, I'm sure it will. Until then, I'm reclaiming my peace. And my playlist? It's just Beyonce, Adele, and Rihanna on repeat. Love. Not your roommate anymore. Edit. I just saw the TikToks. Y'all made memes? I'm screaming.